The cry in the alley. The night was quiet. Too quiet. On the far edge of the colony city, lights flickered above broken roads and old metal buildings. Most people had left this place years ago. Only machines, wind, and forgotten souls remained. Inside a small workshop made of scrap steel, a human engineer worked alone. His name did not matter. No one here ever called it. He sat at a metal table covered with wires, tools, and half-broken machines. A small lamp above him buzzed softly. Sparks flashed as he repaired an old service drone. His hands were calm, steady. He had done this work his whole life. Fix, repair, survive. Outside, cold wind moved through narrow alleys, carrying dust and rust. Then he heard it. A sound. Soft. Broken. A cry. The human stopped working. He listened. At first, he thought it was the wind. This place played tricks on the ears. But the sound came again, weak, shaking, full of fear. It was not human. He stood up slowly and turned off his tools. The workshop door opened with a loud creak. Cold air rushed in. The alley outside was dark, lit only by a few broken lights. The cry came again. Closer now. The human followed the sound, stepping carefully between piles of scrap metal and old cargo crates. His boots echoed softly on the metal ground. Behind a stack of broken containers, he saw movement. Small, curled, shaking. He stepped closer and froze. It was a baby dragon. Not large, not dangerous. Its scales were dull and scratched, not shining like the story said. One small wing was folded tight against its body. Its tail was thin and shaking. In its tiny claws, it held something. A broken toy. The toy was made of metal and light, shaped like a flying creature. One side was cracked open. Wires hung out, sparking weakly. The toy made a sad clicking sound, like it was dying. The baby dragon looked up. Its eyes were big, wet, afraid. It did not breathe fire. It did not roar. It cried. The human felt his chest tighten. He had seen many things in his life. War machines, broken cities, people who gave up. But this was different. The baby dragon slowly held the toy toward him, as if asking, as if begging. The human swallowed. He looked around quickly. Dragons were not supposed to be here. This colony was far from dragon space. If anyone saw this, if hunters came, the baby would not survive. Slowly, he knelt down. "It's okay," he said softly. He did not know why he said it. The dragon did not understand his words. But his voice was calm, and calm mattered. The baby dragon sniffed and pushed the toy closer. The human carefully took it. The toy was old, very old. The design was strange, not like modern tech. The power core inside was damaged, but not dead. Fixable. The human stood and waved gently. "Come with me," he said. The baby dragon hesitated, then followed. Inside the workshop, the human closed the door and locked it. He placed the toy on the table and examined it under the lamp. His eyes narrowed with focus. This kind of work? It felt familiar. Too familiar. He did not notice the faint red light that blinked once outside, high above the city. A hidden royal surveillance orb had activated. Far away, deep in dragon space, ancient systems woke from sleep. The human worked carefully, cleaning the broken wires, repairing the cracked shell. His fingers moved with natural skill, as if he had done this before, even though he never had. The baby dragon watched closely. Its crying stopped. Minutes passed. Then, the toy powered on. Lights glowed. Tiny wings moved. The toy flew in a small circle, humming softly. The baby dragon gasped, then laughed. A bright, happy sound filled the workshop. The human smiled without realizing it. Behind the baby dragon, a faint symbol appeared in the air for just a second. Old, glowing, unseen by human eyes. The royal eyes zoomed closer. Watching. Recording. The human only thought one thing. I fixed a toy. He had no idea what he had truly repaired. And no idea who was watching him now. A small repair, a big mistake. The toy should not have worked. That was the first problem. When the human saw the small metal wings move, his smile slowly faded. He leaned closer to the table. The energy reading on the old screen beside him made no sense. The power core was ancient, older than the colony, older than modern human tech. Yet it was stable, perfect. The human whispered, "This should be dead." The baby dragon clapped its tiny claws and laughed again, unaware of anything wrong. It chased a flying toy around the workshop, bumping into chairs and boxes. The human watched silently. Something felt wrong. He checked the wires again. They were placed in a pattern he did not remember learning. His hands had moved on their own. Natural. Smooth. Like muscle memory from a life he never lived. Outside the workshop, the wind suddenly stopped. Far above the colony, the royal surveillance orb focused its lens. The toy sent a signal. A quiet one. A forbidden one. Across the galaxy, ancient dragon systems reacted. Deep within a mountain of black crystal, a warning rune lit up for the first time in centuries. Maker code detected. Dragon nobles froze. That code is extinct, one elder said. It belongs to the makers, another whispered. A third voice was calm and cold. Track the source. Back in the workshop, the human felt a strange pressure in the air. The lights flickered. His old scanner beeped once, then shut down. The baby dragon stopped laughing. It looked at the door and hissed. The human followed its gaze. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Someone was outside. The human quickly powered down the toy and placed it inside a metal box. He turned off the main lights, leaving only a faint glow. The baby dragon climbed onto his shoulder, shaking. The footsteps stopped. A voice spoke from outside. Open the door. Not human. The voice was sharp, cold, and carried power. The human did not move. I know you are inside, the voice continued. You are holding something that does not belong to you. The baby dragon growled softly. The human stepped forward. It's just a child, he said. His voice was steady, but his heart raced. Go away. Silence. Then laughter. A small window shattered as a scanning beam passed through the room. It stopped on the metal box. Human, the voice said, now serious. You repaired a royal object. That is treason. The human frowned. I fixed a toy. The door bent inward slightly. Not broken. Warned. The voice lowered. Return the child. Forget this night. You may live. The baby dragon cried again. The human felt something change inside him. He remembered nothing, but he felt everything. Hands that once built worlds. Minds that once shaped stars. He did not know why, but he knew one thing. No. The word echoed. The pressure in the room increased. Tools rattled. Sparks flew from the walls. Far away, the royal orb recorded a spike in unknown energy. The elders gasped. That human. Impossible. The baby dragon suddenly pressed its forehead against the human's chest. A mark burned softly through his shirt. The human cried out but did not fall. A bond sealed. The door outside cracked. Then stopped. Complete silence. Seconds passed. Then the footsteps moved away. The threat was gone. For now. The human leaned against the table, breathing hard. Smoke rose from the walls. The workshop was damaged but standing. The baby dragon looked up at him. Trusted. Safe. Outside the city, high above the stars, the royal eye closed its lens. One elder spoke quietly. He protected it. Another whispered. He refused us. The oldest dragon smiled slowly. Good, it said. The makers never kneeled either. Back in the workshop, the human looked at his hands. They were shaking. Not from fear. From awakening. He had fixed a toy. And in doing so, he had made a mistake that would change the galaxy. The ones who watched from the stars. The silence after the threat felt heavy. Too heavy. Inside the damaged workshop, the human sat on the cold floor, his back against the metal table. The baby dragon stayed close, pressed against his chest, its small heart beating fast. The human did not understand what had happened. But he knew this. Nothing was normal anymore. Outside, the alley looked empty. No footsteps. No voices. Only broken lights swinging slowly in the wind. Still, the human did not open the door. He waited. Minutes passed. Then his old warning console came back to life on its own. The screen glowed red. A signal map appeared. He stared at it. That's impossible, he whispered. The signal was not local. It came from space. Very deep space. Far beyond trade routes. Far beyond war zones. Dragon space. At the same moment, in the heart of the Dragon Empire, a massive chamber of black stone and glowing crystal came alive. Ancient pillars lit up one by one. Dragon elders lifted their massive heads, eyes burning like stars. The royal surveillance orb hovered in the center of the room, replaying what it had seen. The human standing in front of child. The refusal. The word no. One elder slammed its claw into the floor. A human denied us. Another hissed, smoke rising from its mouth. He activated maker patterns. That should not be possible. A third voice, deep and calm, silenced them all. Show the mark. The image changed. The baby dragon pressed its head against the human's chest. The glowing symbol appeared. The chamber went silent. That is a bond mark, someone whispered. An ancient one. No, said another. That bond was forbidden. The oldest dragon slowly rose. The bond chooses, it said. Not us. Back in the workshop, the baby dragon lifted its head. Its eyes glowed faintly now, no longer dull. The human felt warmth spread across his chest, where the mark had burned earlier. He touched the spot. It did not hurt. It felt right. The baby dragon made a soft sound and pointed its nose toward the ceiling. The human followed its gaze. The metal roof shimmered. Then reality bent. A shape appeared in the air, huge, glowing, and watching. The human stood slowly, placing himself in front of the child again. A voice filled the room. Not loud, not angry, ancient, human. The word felt heavy. The human did not kneel. What do you want? He asked. The presence studied him. You repaired what should not be repaired, the voice said. You protected what should have been returned. I protected a child, the human replied. That's all. A pause. The air grew colder. Humans once knew better, the voice said. Then they forgot. The human shook his head. I don't know your history. I don't care about your empire. I saw someone crying. I fixed what was broken. The baby dragon stepped forward, placing itself beside the human. Not behind him. Beside him. The presence flickered. Far away, dragon nobles argued in panic. The child chose him. This cannot be allowed. The oldest dragon watched quietly. Let it continue, it said. The presence faded. The roof returned to normal. The workshop was silent again. The human exhaled slowly. That was not normal, he muttered. Outside, engines roared. The baby dragon hissed sharply. The human moved to the window and looked out. Ships. Black. Armed. Marked with hunter symbols. They're back, he said. Not royal this time. Hunters. The worst kind. The human grabbed a metal rod and stood firm. He was tired. Confused. But he did not step aside. Above the city, the royal eye opened once more. The elders watched the hunter ships move in. One asked quietly, should we stop them? The oldest dragon's eyes narrowed. No. Gasps filled the chamber. If the human falls, the dragon said, then he was never worthy. If he stands, a slow smile spread across its ancient face. Then history was wrong about humans. In the alley, the workshop door shook as the hunters landed. The baby dragon's glow grew brighter. The human felt strength rise in his arms. Unnatural, powerful. He tightened his grip. This time, he did not feel fear. He felt ready, and the galaxy held its breath. When the hunters learned fear, the hunter ships landed hard. Metal screamed as heavy boots hit the ground outside the workshop. The alley lights died one by one, leaving only shadows and red scanner beams cutting through the dark. Inside, the human stood still. The baby dragon pressed close to his leg, glowing softly. The air around them felt heavy, like the world itself was waiting. The door shook. Human, a voice called. Last warning. The human said nothing. The door exploded inward. 3 hunters rushed in, weapons raised. Their armor was black, marked with burned dragon symbols. They were fast, trained, confident. They laughed when they saw the human. Then they saw the baby dragon. One hunter stepped forward, handed over. The human moved. Fast, too fast. He swung the metal rod. The first hunter flew backward, smashing into the wall like a broken machine. The others froze, shocked. That was not human strength, one whispered. The baby dragon cried out, fear and anger mixing together. The mark on the human's chest burned. Heat rushed through his arms, his spine, his hands. The second hunter fired. The human raised his arm without thinking. The shot bent in the air, bent, and crashed into the floor. Silence followed. The third hunter backed away slowly. "This is wrong," he said. "This human is—" The baby dragon roared. Not loud, not big, but real. The room shook. Tools lifted off the table. Lights burst. The walls cracked. Outside, the hunter ships began to fail. Engines died. Weapons shut down. Panic spread through their ranks. Above the city, the royal eye widened its focus. The elders leaned forward. "The bond is active," one said. "The child is sharing power," another whispered. "The oldest dragon spoke softly, and the human is accepting it." Inside the workshop, the human felt pain, but not fear. His bones felt heavy, stronger. His vision sharpened. He could hear every breath, every movement. The last hunter ran. The human did not chase him. He knelt instead, placing the metal rod down. The baby dragon climbed into his arms, shaking. "It's okay," the human said quietly. Outside, sirens wailed as the hunter ships crashed or shut down completely. The city watched. From windows, from broken cameras, from hidden places. They saw a human standing unharmed. They saw hunters fleeing. Rumors spread fast. A human stopped them, with bare hands. That's impossible. Far away, in the Dragon Empire, silence ruled the chamber. No one spoke. Finally, one elder broke it. He fought hunters without armor. And survived, another added. The oldest dragon nodded once. "The makers are waking," it said. A royal envoy ship appeared in orbit above the colony. Not a hunter ship, not a warship, a symbol of judgment. Inside the workshop, the baby dragon looked toward the sky and made a soft sound. The human felt it too. Something was coming, something bigger than hunters. He looked at the broken door, the damaged walls, the silent alley beyond. "This isn't over," he said. The baby dragon wrapped its tail around his arm. Outside the atmosphere, the royal envoy prepared to descend. Orders echoed through the Dragon Empire. "Observe. Do not interfere. Let the human choose." The human stood tall as the sky above the colony began to glow. He had protected a child. He had scared the hunters. Now, the galaxy was about to knock on his door. The human who did not kneel. The sky turned gold. A massive shadow covered the colony as the royal envoy ship descended. Its surface glowed with ancient runes, each one older than the city below. The air shook, not from engines but from presence. People ran. Doors closed. Lights went dark. Inside the broken workshop, the humans stood still. The baby dragon held onto his arm, silent now, watching the sky with wide eyes. The ship landed without sound. The ground did not shake. Reality did. The alley stretched, bent, then settled as a tall figure stepped out of the ship. A royal dragon. Not huge like the war beasts of legend. Not burning with fire, but powerful in a deeper way. Its scales were smooth and dark, glowing softly like stars underwater. Its eyes were calm, ancient, and sharp. With each step, the world seemed to listen. The dragon stopped a few steps from the workshop. It waited. The door was gone. The human stepped forward into the open alley. Everyone watching held their breath. Slowly, people began to kneel. One by one. Heads bowed. Bodies shaking. The human did not kneel. He placed himself in front of the baby dragon again. The royal dragon looked at him. For a long time. "You stand," the dragon said calmly. "Yes," the human replied. "You know who I am," the dragon said. "I know you're not here to save a child," the human answered. The baby dragon growled softly. The royal dragon's eyes flickered toward it. "That child belongs to the Empire." The human shook his head. "No," he said. "That child belongs to itself." A shockwave rippled through the alley. Windows shattered. People cried out. The dragon did not move. "You protected it," the dragon said. "You fought hunters. You accepted the bond." "I didn't choose any of this," the human replied. "But I will not give it up." Silence. Far away, dragon elders watched in disbelief. "He speaks to a royal without fear. He should be Ash." The oldest dragon smiled. "Let him speak." The royal dragon stepped closer. "Do you know what that bond means?" it asked. The human met its eyes. It means the child trusts me. The royal dragon paused. You could gain power, it said. Status. Protection. You could rule cities. The human laughed softly. Then you don't understand humans either. He looked down at the baby dragon. I fixed a toy, he said. I held a crying child. That's all I did. The baby dragon pressed closer to him. The bond mark glowed brighter. The royal dragon took a step back. A sound passed through the watchers of the galaxy. Fear. The royal dragon lowered its head slightly. Not a bow, but not dominance either. The Empire has watched you, it said, and it will watch you still. The human said nothing. The child will stay, the dragon continued. For now, gasps echoed. But understand this, the dragon said, its voice sharpening. Your choices will change more than you know. The ship behind it began to glow again. Before leaving, the royal dragon looked at the human one last time. Humans were not weak, it said. They were forgotten. Then it was gone. The sky returned to normal. The alley was silent. People slowly stood. They stared at the human like he was something new, something dangerous. The baby dragon yawned and curled up against him. The human exhaled slowly. He had not knelt, and the galaxy had noticed. Far away, the oldest dragon spoke quietly. The next choice would decide everything. The truth dragons buried. The night after the royal envoy left felt wrong. Too calm. The colony should have celebrated. Hunters were gone. The child was safe. But the human could not sleep. The bond mark on his chest burned softly, like a warning that refused to fade. The baby dragon slept beside him, curled up on a blanket of old cloth. Every breath it took pulled warm light into the room. The human watched it and felt a strange pain in his chest. Memories pressed at the edge of his mind. Not his, yet they felt real. Cities of light. Humans standing beside dragons. Hands building things that touched the stars. He gripped his head and gasped. The workshop walls flickered, then disappeared. The human stood somewhere else. A vast hall made of white stone and gold metal. Humans and dragons stood together, not as rulers and servants, but as equals. A voice echoed. You remember. The human turned. A massive, ancient dragon appeared, its scales cracked with age, but glowing from within. This was not a body. This was memory. You were makers, the dragon said. Builders. Teachers. Guardians. The human shook his head. That's not possible. Humans are weak. The dragon's eyes burned. We made you forget. The hall darkened. Images changed. Dragons rising to power. Human records burning. Human worlds breaking. You were too dangerous, the dragon continued. Not because of your strength, but because of your choice. The human felt anger rise. What choice? You chose to protect life over power. The memory shattered. The human screamed and fell back into the workshop. He woke gasping. The baby dragon was awake now, watching him closely. Outside, alarms wailed across the colony. The sky cracked open, not with ships, with light. Across the galaxy, ancient human systems, long dead, were waking. Hidden stations, lost factories, sleeping machines, all responding to one thing. Him. In the Dragon Empire, panic spread. Elders shouted. Runes flared. Warning lights filled the chambers. The Maker memory has returned. The human knows. The oldest dragon stood tall, silent. It was always going to happen, it said. You lied to them, another elder roared. We survived because of it, the oldest replied. But now we may not. Back on the colony, the human stood outside the workshop as lights from the sky reflected in his eyes. He did not feel powerful. He felt responsible. The baby dragon climbed onto his shoulder and pressed its head against his neck. The bond mark flared bright white. A message burned into his mind. Protect them. The human clenched his fists. Far away, fleets began to move. Some dragon houses prepared for war. Others prepared to kneel. Because the truth was out. Humans were never weak. They were restrained. And the galaxy had just reminded one of them who he truly was. The choice that shook the galaxy. The fleets stopped. That alone shocked the galaxy. Dragon warships filled the stars on one side. Ancient human machines, newly awakened, hovered on the other. Weapons were charged. Shields glowed. One command was all it would take. But no one gave it. Because the human stepped forward. He stood on the surface of the small colony world, the baby dragon on his shoulder, looking up at the sky, full of power that wanted his answer. In the Dragon Empire, elders waited. On human worlds, people watched screens they did not understand. Everyone expected the same thing. Command. Control. Revenge. The human closed his eyes. He remembered the crying in the alley. The broken toy. The small hands holding it. He opened his eyes. "I will not rule," he said. His voice was calm, but it reached every ship, every system, every listening mind. Shock spread. "I will not destroy the Dragon Empire," he continued. "And I will not rebuild the old human one." The oldest dragon leaned forward. "Then what will you do, Maker?" The human looked at the baby dragon. It made a soft sound and pressed closer to his neck. "I will protect children," he said. "All children." The machines in space paused. Their weapons powered down. Dragon fleets hesitated. "You hid the truth," the humans said, looking at the stars. "You feared us, so you broke us. But we never came back angry." Silence ruled the void. "We came back," when someone cried. The bond mark on his chest flared brighter than ever. Ancient systems changed state, not to war mode, but to guardian mode. Across the galaxy, factories shut down weapon lines and activated shelters. Defense grids moved around worlds with children. Dragon hatcheries and human cities both received the same protection. The elders panicked. "You give up everything," one shouted. "Power. Control." The human smiled slightly. "That's why you were afraid of us." The oldest dragon bowed its head. This time, it was a bow. "The pact is restored," it said quietly. "Not by blood, not by fear, but by choice." The war fleets retreated. The stars dimmed. The galaxy exhaled. Back on the colony, the human returned to his small workshop. He fixed doors, cleaned tools. Life became quiet again, but it was not small anymore. The baby dragon grew stronger, happier. Other children, human and dragon, began to arrive. Lost ones, hurt ones. The workshop became a home, a place where no child cried alone. Far away, the royal surveillance orb shut down forever. Its final record showed only one thing: a human sitting on the floor, fixing a broken toy, while a baby dragon laughed beside him. History would not call him a king, or a god, or a ruler. The galaxy would remember him as something rarer, a human who chose kindness, and reminded the stars what strength truly meant.